Hello guys and welcome back to our channel Barca Admirers for your daily coverage of all the latest news updates and transfers roundup related to Barcelona. In this video, we have covered some reports about the future of Ronald Koeman, as it's now being reported surprisingly that President Joan Laporta himself has extended his stay at the club. Meanwhile, Sergio Aguero aims to return to the pitch very soon, just after the international break, and two new wingers are being targeted by the club in the next transfer window, along with many more such updates. So make sure to watch this video till the very end without skipping over any part. To start off today's news roundup, we have a report by Spanish publication Mundo Deportivo that states that Barcelona have only scored 11 goals in 9 games this season. That's 8 less than last season at this point. It's the season with the fewest goals so far since 2008. News outlet Diario AS reports that as much as Ronald Koeman assured that he has the support of the players, the truth is that a big part of the squad has long ceased to believe in the coach. The dressing room are doubting his tactical decisions and are not happy about the messages that he sends to the media. What they found most surprising, however, was that Koeman singled out Nico Gonzalez during his press conference, something which the dressing room hated. The matter was discussed in length during the return flight to Barcelona, and the heavyweights of the dressing room even approached the youngster to show their support. Speaking in the post-match press conference after the Atletico Madrid game, Koeman criticized Nico Gonzalez by saying that they cannot leave spaces when they lose a ball. Nico did not continue after Lemar, he left him alone, so that's why Barca now play with 3 centre-backs. Also reporting on this issue, journalist Javi Miguel states that Koeman has almost completely lost the dressing room. Nobody liked that he publicly blamed Nico Gonzalez for Atletico Madrid's first goal. The young midfielder was already distraught after his half-time substitution, and the manager's words hurt him even more. According to the report of top-tier journalist Luis Fernando Rojo, Laporta decided to continue with Koeman not because the meeting between the two was convincing, but because he could not find an ideal replacement for the long term right now. Koeman's future depends on the games against Valencia, Dinamo Kiev and Real Madrid. Yet another top-tier journalist Xavi Campos reports that Rafa Yuste is the man who convinced Laporta to give Ronald Koeman another chance and not fire him after the game against Atletico Madrid. ARA journalist Tony Padilla reports that although the sports results and the team's performances have gotten even worse, Laporta is confident that this will be the month of the start of the recovery on and off the pitch. However, despite all these reports suggesting that Koeman will definitely continue at Barcelona, journalist Gerard Romero reported yesterday that on Wednesday, Barca had reached a pre-agreement with the coach to take over the first team. From that moment on, Laporta worked on the process to fire Koeman. The report further stated that Barca have laid down foundations with Xavi Hernandez on Wednesday for the former midfielder to become the new manager. But after that, Koeman and Laporta spoke to each other and the tables turned. However, there should still be a pact with Xavi for in the not too distant future. The big question now is when he is going to take over. Top-tier journalist Javi Miguel, however, has totally discarded this news. He said that the Xavi news is absolutely not true. Rumors about Xavi already agreeing a deal with Barcelona are totally false. As of right now, there is no agreement in place for him to be the next Barca coach. It needs to be kept in mind that the journalist in question, Javi Miguel, is one who is very close to Xavi himself. Even Spanish publication Mundo Deportivo reports that both Barca and Xavi's entourage deny that the manager agreed a deal in principle to take over from Ronald Koeman. They say that Xavi has only been contacted through intermediaries, not directly with the club. On the other hand, yet another news publication El Nacional reports that Laporta has a pre-agreement with Ten Hag to coach Barcelona in the next season. Even news outlet Catalunya Radio backs it up by saying that Ajax's coach Erik ten Hag is Joan Laporta's favorite to replace Ronald Koeman. Moving on to the next news update, we have a report by Madrid-based news outlet Marca. It states that as in many cases, Marc-Andre ter Stegen may not have been the direct culprit in the goals, but he could have done much more to prevent them. He has long not been a safe bet between the posts for Barca. For the next one, we have the comments of Memphis Depay that he made in his most recent interview with Ziggo Sport. He admitted that they are in a difficult moment right now. The age of the young players are definitely not an excuse. They have the quality. He thinks that they started the season very well. They played great against Real Sociedad, and in the preseason they did as well. So right now, it's not an excuse to say that the team does not have the quality. Going to the next news update, we have a report by Sport. It states that Sergi Roberto has been unwillingly called up by Luis Enrique for Spain duty. The Barcelona midfielder has replaced the injured Brais Mendes in the squad. Mendes had instead been called up to replace Barcelona midfielder Pedri Gonzalez, but good news for the Spain fans is that Roberto is likely to be more of a reserve. We got some more good news up ahead as reliable journalist Victor Nahuel reports that the negotiations for Sergi Roberto's contract renewal have absolutely stopped and there is currently no date set for the future meetings. Next up, we have a report by Sport that states that Ronald Koeman has given the team 5 days off. The report describes it as a 5-of-a-kind reinforcements for Ronald Koeman. The coach will now take the advantage of the international break to recover Jordi Alba, Pedri Gonzalez, Sergio Aguero and Ousmane Dembele and ensure that Ansu Fati picks up his pace. Jordi Alba, Pedri, Dembele and Aguero will all train together with the first team after the international break. Trusted journalist Javi Miguel continues reporting that Sergio Aguero will be back for the game against Valencia after the international break. He is the closest reinforcement in Koeman's squad after the Dutchman complaining on several occasions about the number of players injured. As far as the contract of Ousmane Dembele is concerned, Spanish news publication Mundo Deportivo reports that the club are optimistic that Dembele will sign a renewal deal. The winger is happy at Barca and he definitely wants to stay. Going to the next news update, we have a very serious report by El Periódico. It states that Barca will reveal the due diligence, full financial audit and the economic ruin to the socios on Wednesday. The possibility of becoming an SAD or a Sociedad Anónima Deportiva, that is, a public limited sports company that is owned by a corporation and not the club's members, is now closer than ever. This is by far the worst possible thing that can happen to our club. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time we remove the Mascayan Club tagline from the Camp Nou. That's all the news we could collect for you today in the news roundup. Now moving on to the transfer section, we have a report by Mundo Deportivo that states that Barcelona will definitely have funds for signings during the winter transfer window and will try to bring in Dani Olmo or Raheem Sterling to reinforce the attack or maybe even bring them both. That's all the news we could collect for you today. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, select all and enable all the YouTube app notifications. We have always been overly impressed by your response to our videos. So in this episode, we have decided to set a target of 550 likes. Please Coolers, help us reach our target on this episode as well. Now that's all we have for today's episode. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Until then, stay safe. Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalunya.